morning, guys.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Buenas noches.
Buenas tardes. It's Barb.
It's Estella, and welcome to Cafecito and Crime.
Welcome to Cafecito and Crime. We are continuing with our
Espooky season. Yes.
And let's get started.
Yeah, let's get into it. So for this case, we're actually going back to Florida.
The state of La Florida.
Yes, and I know we were just there not that long ago with crazy lady Judy Buenoano.
Yes.
For this case, we're going to go back to Florida.
Well, you know what they say about Florida.
All the crazy people are in Florida and in the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
According to the Breakfast Club.
That wasn't us, by the way. So don't come after us.
Charlemagne.
Yeah, don't come after us.
Yes,
we love people in New York and Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
So the fun fact for today's case, I don't know si tú sabías, but I didn't know this. And I feel like other people know this. So maybe it won't be that much of a fun fact to a lot of people. But did you know that Gatorade was named after the University of Florida's mascot, which is a gator?
Oh, I had no idea. Go Gators.
Yeah. And the drink was invented in a lab at the university in 1965.
That's crazy. 1965. I wonder what triggered that. Let's just invent
So,
a sports drink. Electrolytes.
For, I guess, the team, the football team.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, but
what brought that on? Did somebody
somebody was like, they're dying of,
they're dehydrated.
They're dehydrated and we need water with a lot of salt.
That tastes yummy.
Yummy. I mean, Gatorade is not the best, but I mean...
Oh, remember? Wait, weren't you obsessed with the Gatorade when you were pregnant?
When I was pregnant of my child, the first one, I was obsessed, but only the blue one. And it was a specific blue.
Yeah.
And if my husband brought the wrong blue, I was very upset.
Yeah.
It had to be the one. And that was only because I saw this little girl at church. It was hot that day. Estaba caliente. I remember it was in the summer. Y la pinche huerquilla estaba en chinga con un big old Gatorade. It was a blue, but it had to be the vibrant blue.
Wasn't it an Everest or
something Cool Everest, something like that? I don't know. But dude, if it wasn't that one, it was not quenching my thirst. It wasn't quenching. It needed that one. I needed that one. So yeah. I just think that's interesting that it was, out of everywhere, it was at a university. That's awesome.
Exactly. At a university.
Really awesome. Yeah.
So if you knew that, let us know because yo no sabía.
Me neither.
Me neither. But your husband did. My brother, I asked him, I'm like, did you know this? He's like, yes. I was
he just knows everything. But ask him cuándo nació sus hijos. Si no saben. I'm telling you. I've tested. Yeah, I've tested that shit. Mm-hmm.
Ask him again cuando llegue.
Yeah, I'll be like, ¿a qué hora nació tu hijo? He doesn't know.
No.
He doesn't know.
Not even the month, a lo mejor.
But how many and what year and what time did did Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He knows that.
When did LeBron graduate high school and
he'll know
get
that.
drafted?
Where is he from? Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, when are these shoes coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll know that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pero ¿cuándo nacieron tus hijos? Nah, not necessary.
Okay, let's get back to the story. Okay, so we're going to start with Marlene.
Yes.
I'm sorry, today's case, it's like you said, it's on theme with the spooky season. We're still in spooky season. It's October. And for this case, it's about a woman that actually gets killed by a clown.
A clown?
A whole ass clown.
No. How do you do a clown noise?
Is that the little cancioncita que le sale?
No sé, porque I've only been to the circus about one time, and it was a Hermanos Vázquez one, so I don't think that they had the right version.
I think that little song me sale, but I don't think it's associated with payasos.
No, because they came out of Madagascar.
Yeah, that's true.
So, no creo.
Okay,
but if you know the song for the payasos,
let us know.
Let us know, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Marlene was born on April 15th of 1950 in Mount Clemens, Michigan.
In Michigan. I've always wanted to go to Michigan.
Why?
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
And because that's where Mighty Ducks were.
Yeah, we like the cold.
And I like the Mighty Ducks.
And the Mighty Ducks. When was the last time you saw Mighty Ducks?
Dude, years. But I know I saw it when my daughter went a long time ago. My daughter's a little bit more open than my son to watch more movies. He's more like, this is boring. But she's more open, and that was the last time. I was so in love with Mighty Ducks, dude.
I remember Mighty Ducks.
I thought I was going to be a Mighty Duck.
You could have.
Yeah, I could have.
And we were just talking about hockey earlier.
We were just talking about hockey. Yeah, I could have. I could have been a hockey player. I'm big enough.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I could do whatever I want.
You could do whatever you want.
Yes.
Anyway, so she was born in Michigan to parents Shirley and Bill. And she was the second out of 3 girls for the couple. So not really much is known about Marlene's upbringing, but from interviews that I've seen with her parents and people that knew her, she seemed to have had a normal upbringing. Yeah. So she was just...
Can't relate.
Yeah. And that's a
totally different spooky story.
Yeah. From when you're a kid.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And In the early 1970s, Marlene found herself in South Florida, and she had 2 sons. So she had 2 boys, but no estaba con el papá de los niños. Not really much is known, or at least I couldn't find anything about the dad. Pero
she was a really young mom, though.
Yeah, because she was 20.
She was 20.
She was like in her early 20s,
and
early 20s.
And I wonder, like, what were the ages? You said around 2.
Because al rato, I think her youngest, Joe, I think he was 2. They were toddlers, 3, 4, por ahí. 3,
okay.
4, 5.
So they were like one after another.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So she was single. She was
single and ready to mingle.
Sí, in South Florida. And she met and started dating businessman Michael Warren.
And Miguelito.
Miguelito. They really hit it off and eventually got married. Se casaron.
Yeah.
So Michael really adored the boys, and they were really small, like we just said, when they got married. And later on, one of her sons went on to say that Michael wasn't his stepdad. Okay, Michael was his dad.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
When Michael and Marlene se casaron, they built a business of their own. And they'd buy properties, fix them up, and then rent them out to like low-income families.
That's nice.
Yeah. So Marlene was the one that managed the properties. And I believe they had maybe about 17 or 20 of them.
Damn, that's a lot, dude.
That's a lot.
That's
and to be managing them.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So she must have been the bad bitch, you know? Yeah.
She was on it.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, like I said, that was their business together. Y luego Michael opened up his own venture, que era de él solamente, which was Bargain Motors.
Bargain Motors.
Sí. Bargain Motors was where like he used to sell used cars.
Yeah.
Y también he'd rent them out. So it was also like a rental agency.
Okay.
And it was a place where people with bad credit would go if they needed a car.
Todos los que están ahí por la Southmore y la pinche, los que están ahí por la Shaver, todo ahí, he was right there, Bargain Motors.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Ahí estaba. That's what, no credit, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Yeah.
So Marlene and Mike were well off. And in 1985, they moved into the Aero Club.
Okay.
Which is an exclusive aeronautical community in Wellington, Florida.
Say that 5 times.
Aeronautical.
That sounds like something that's not right. I don't know.
Like, what's an aeronautical community, you ask?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Let me tell you. Because I looked up the Aero Club and like clickety-clack on Google. Espooky. Google. See? And their slogan, I guess you can say, is where your backyard is a taxiway.
That's not a good slogan. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying that it's a taxi, is there taxis back there?
There is a 4,000-foot runway for a plane.
So there's not really a taxi.
No, but I think that's what they call the runways for the planes, a taxi.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then it's a great name.
I get it.
No, it sounds great.
So literally there was a runway in the middle of the community and the houses were built around this strip.
Imagine el pinche noise a la verga, like, fuck.
Estás dormido and shit, like at 3 de la mañana.
Like, what the fuck? Like, if here, we can hear them and they bother us, you imagine, like,
they're fucking loud.
And they're loud. You imagine, like, let me go get on my train. It's spooky. Let me go get on my plane. I'll be back. I'm going to the grocery store, pinche Walmart and shit. The fuck? No.
También all the estates sat on at least an acre lot.
Es que son estates.
They're not homes, they're estates.
Okay.
Estates. So they had money, bitch. Así tenían dinerito.
Pues sí, pues tenían a whole bunch of businesses. And if you're a good business owner, you make money.
Yep. So things were going well for the Warrens up until 1990. So they moved into the Aero Club in 1985, and now we're going to 1990.
Okay. So 5 years have passed.
See. On Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 26, 1990, Marlene was in her home with one of her sons.
Okay.
Joe, who was 22 at the time. Okay. It was right before 11 a.m. and Marlene was making breakfast and she was in the kitchen. And so were Joe and his friends, porque some of his friends had come over because they were just, celebrating, hanging out, chilling for the holiday weekend.
I'm pretty sure that they had amenities like pools and shit. They can, because people that have money like that,
they live in an estate.
They don't have to go to Schlitterbahn. You know? No, they don't have to go to Hurricane Harbor.
Yeah.
They could just go to the backyard. Let's go swimming. We don't got that.
Hey, I like Schlitterbahn.
I love Schlitterbahn, but I'm just saying, like, they don't have to
drive, then to just go into your backyard.
Pues no necesitan que ir a caminar con los pinches patas quemándose and shit, you know, porque está ahí.
Yeah, it's right there.
Ahí.
You can
¿Te puedes bañar? Right, you don't have to pee in the pool.
I would still pee in the pool.
No, wait, pero you don't have to because vas al baño adentro de tu casa.
That's true, but yeah, you have that option at least.
You have that option.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, Joe and his friends were there hanging out, and Marlene was making breakfast in the kitchen. They were all just chilling.
Cooking. Chilaquiles.
No, maybe like pancakes.
No, chilaquiles. Well, rancheros, you know.
Oh, algo así. Algo leve. Now, Michael ya se había ido. Michael wasn't in the home at the time. He was on his way to Miami because he was going to go to like a horse race or some shit like that. So, él no estaba.
I don't like horse races.
I don't have an opinion about that.
I don't because they beat the horses.
No, that's not a good sport.
No. Anything that animal cruelty, I'm not down.
Yeah, but I don't think they all beat them.
Pues like sí, porque los hacen que corran rápido, güey.
The Kentucky Derby?
Sí, güey.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Yeah, pero te imaginas, like, if they don't go fast? Pobrecitos horses, dude. No.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story.
Another spooky story.
Another spooky story.
So, like I said, at 11 in the morning, the doorbell, like right before 11 in the morning, the doorbell rings. Mm-hmm. And Marlene goes and opens the door. Standing there was someone dressed as a clown, and they had white face paint, striped, spooky, striped costume, orange wig, and a red nose.
Okay.
And no clown shoes.
I don't know about that. You're not really a clown if you don't got no fucking clown shoes.
Because those are very distinctive. But they were wearing whoever this person was.
Dude, ¿te imaginas que they were there y luego clacking around in the fucking clown shoes?
Yeah, because they they're going to hear you coming up and shit.
Stupid. Y luego?
So this person wasn't wearing the clown shoes, but was wearing like either high top boots or high top shoes of some sort. So the clown, cuando Marlene abrió la puerta, the clown was holding a basket of red and white carnations and 2 balloons. And one of them said, "You're the greatest." It's fucked up. That's so fucked up, dude. Like, you could have gotten any other fucking balloon there. Yeah. Why'd you have to say one day you're the greatest? You see, I mean, I don't think que iba con buenas intenciones.
Let's take a quick break. Persons of Interest is back, and it's bigger than ever.
That scream will echo in my head for many years.
Taser, taser, taser! He's gonna shoot!
Oi! Shot fired! Shot fired, shot fired.
Stay out, you got a gun on you!
He had the perfect aim.
I am absolutely stressed at that point. I have no idea where my officers are.
Persons of Interest available everywhere you get your podcasts.
So this clown person doesn't say anything, doesn't utter a word, y le entrega a Marlene las carnations and los globos. And I think Marlene said something along the lines of, "Oh, how nice."
Pobrecita, dude.
Le da las cosas, güey. Y luego este payaso pulls out a gun.
Literally, payaso. And shoots her just straight in the face. Bam. Y of course, Joe and his friends were right there in la cocina. So they come running. Y they see Marlene on the floor. Dude, what the fuck? Imagine?
Like, I'm sure
that's
it's
your
real.
Mom. Like,
you're just right there chilling.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's probably blood everywhere, and you're just like, oh my God, that's
what's
scary.
going on? Yeah. So Joe saw the clown walking away, not running away, but walking.
Taking her or his person's time.
Yes, to the getaway car, like the car.
The clown car.
Yes.
It technically is a clown car.
Technically it's a clown car.
Technically it's a clown car porque si te vas a subir y eres un clown, what kind of car is it?
A clown car. Yeah, that's true.
So it's a clown car. So andaba yéndose en el pinche clown car.
Yeah, and Joe called off after this person, and the person turned around. Mm-hmm. And Joe later says that the clown had deep brown eyes and that they were very calm for someone that had just dressed up as a clown and went and shot somebody. Like, this person was just like, dingity dang dang ding, walking back to my car. Wow. I don't know what that was.
Dingily dang dang ding. Don't ever do that again.
Okay. I probably will.
Don't.
Just because you're telling me not to, I probably will. So, Joe, this car drives away, the clown car drives away with the clown inside of it, and Joe gets in his car and follows the car.
Yeah. Joe is like, I'm going to catch this motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm going to catch her ass. So a couple of neighbors who were outside also heard the shot, and they They ran to the Warren home to see what happened. I think they were outside because one of them was like doing his yard or watering his plants or some shit.
Probably doing yard shit that I don't do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then another one was walking his dog. So they ran over to the Warren.
Con el firulais.
Yeah, con el firulais.
Yeah. They ran over when they heard the commotion.
Yes. They ran over to the Warren home to see what happened. And when they got there, they both saw Marlene lying on the floor, toda manchada de sangre. One of the neighbors was a doctor because, he lived in the Aero Club. And as soon as he saw the scene, he got to work since Marlene still had a pulse. He did what he could until the paramedics arrived. And then
You
Marlene...
mean CPR y todo?
Yeah. And Marlene then was rushed to the hospital.
Okay.
The police also arrived at the Warren home too, and by that time, Joe had already made it back to the house.
I wonder si se le perdió or like...
Yes, porque dice que ya no lo alcanzó al carro.
Like el carro iba bien, el clown car iba bien recio.
Yes, le andaba pisando.
Le pisó al
a lo mejor por eso no se puso los clown shoes.
Tienes razón, fíjate, no me he dado cuenta.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have been able to like...
No, es que si le vas a meter al turbo, you need regular shoes.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't really much have anything to go on since there's hardly any evidence at the scene.
I mean, you would think. I mean, she just...
¿Llegó?
No. This person, all they had was balloons, a fucking basket
of
carnations, flowers, and a lady.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Exactly. So like you said, there was balloons, carnations, Joe and his friends.
That's it, dude.
That's it. And when they started asking Joe and his friends questions, they all kind of like said that it looked like it was a man that was 6 feet tall.
Like a tall man.
Like a tall man, okay. Yes. Joe also tells police that, like we were talking about, that he followed this car and that it was a white car. He also tells them that the clown had deep brown eyes, that that's the only thing he could give them from what he saw.
I wonder if it had like a license plate or something.
I'm sure it did, but he probably just wasn't able to catch it or
Honk
anything.
If you see me or something.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it that the police got, which wasn't a lot.
Yeah, that's right like nothing. Yeah.
So Michael arrived at the hospital.
Yeah, llegó Michael afterwards.
Yeah, Joe le habló.
Hey, come here, my mom got shot, whatever, let's do this.
Yeah, okay. And Joe, turned around and came back to Wellington real quick.
No, Michael,
yes. Sorry. Thank you. The police, of course, asked him some questions because, since his wife got shot and he's the spouse and they're usually like, if something happens to one, they're always, the prime suspect is always the other significant other. But he tells the police that he was in Miami y que estaba con otra gente and at the time of the shooting and, he had an alibi, which is like solid.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay. And I just came back when Joe called me and I'm here.
And I rushed here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as soon as this hit the news, the story, a lot of people in the community remembered a similar shooting that had happened a couple of years prior in 1987.
Especially with not having any other
evidence.
Yes. Yeah. They needed to, tenían que buscar de algún lugar something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A woman named Lita Sullivan lived in the same county part-time. So Lita and her husband lived in Georgia primarily. Y un día, Lita's doorbell rang. And when she went to go open it, ahí estaba un clown with flowers and candy. And then the clown shot her too and killed her. So Lita passed away. And I don't think being shot by clowns is a common occurrence.
I hope not.
Because I'm not opening my door if there's a clown
Nadie. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah, now you can see through my Ring camera, bitch.
Yeah, I see through the Ring. Y si te veo, no.
You hardly even open the door for anybody nowadays.
No.
Not much less a fucking clown.
Very much less.
Yeah.
Ni que fuera pinche
Kids
Hermanos Vázquez. No.
Straight to your door, bitch.
Straight to your door. No.
But since the shootings were both so similar, they're like, okay, well, they both got shot by clowns. They both were being handed flowers and other things. They were both wealthy. They thought initially that they might have been a connection between the two. So the police start looking into this and see if there was a possible connection. Now later, just getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but later they do just kind of scratch this off because they had nothing to do with each other. Lita, I think it was her husband, they were trying to separate and he ended up hiring somebody to murder her or some shit.
That's some bullshit. That's crazy.
Just fucking divorce, bitch.
Yeah,
I don't get it. They also start looking into who would have anything against Marlene that would want to kill her. Mm-hmm. They thought that maybe it could have been a pissed off tenant since they had those rental properties. And so they go and interview los renteros.
¿Y para qué te enojas si te corren, güey? Si no pagas la pinche renta, pues salte ya.
What do you think they're going to do, right?
Like, don't get mad. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So the tenants, when they go to get interviewed, they all had nothing but good things to say about her. Which, I mean, who would say something bad if they did kill her?
But even at that, like, you could tell somebody was like kind of like, oh, they've had an argument before or something like that. No es como que, no, todo está peaches and cream, pero if they've had arguments or something, you could tell about it. You could tell. Yeah. So, I mean, if she's a nice person, she's a nice person. I mean, what can we do about that?
Yeah, and exactly. Everybody said that she had nothing but good things to say about her. They'd say que a veces she'd even let them slide when they were late on their rent. That she was just really
so nice,
sympathetic towards their situation. They knew it was hard, so everybody loved her.
Yeah.
Since Marlene didn't have any enemies that they could find, they started to think that maybe she was targeted because of her husband.
Maybe he had enemies. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they thought that maybe Michael pissed off the wrong person when he repoed somebody's cars because, he worked selling used cars to people with bad credit. And I mean, like anywhere, si no pagas, pues they take your shit, right? Sí, so maybe he repoed somebody's car and they got pissed off and they're like, okay.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. I don't know who would fucking murder somebody over a repoed car, but, it could happen.
It could happen.
People
if you take my Cadillac,
people get killed for less.
Every day. I've seen people get killed for shoes. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Or chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich. Popeyes? Y'all fucking remember Popeyes, bitch? Yep. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anything does not surprise me anymore in America.
Yep.
Parecemos salvajes, tú.
Somos, güey.
Damn, dude. That's fucked up.
We're kind of trash.
A little bit.
But
don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back at the hospital, doctors told Marlene's family that there is nothing more that they can do for her. Then Marlene was on life support at the time, and her family actually decides to take her off of it 2 days after she was shot.
Oh my God,
she was only 40.
Bitch, I can't believe it. I'm almost 40.
You're not there yet.
But almost. Pero te imaginas, like,
just at 40,
her whole life.
Yeah,
like,
she was so young.
Yeah.
So there was this. So obviously this turned into a murder investigation.
Of course.
And when she got rushed to the hospital, Marlene was, rushed into surgery, and they did remove a bullet that was lodged in her throat, and they sent it off for testing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the results came back for that, they showed that Marlene was shot with a .357 Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew what she was shot with. At least they had something going on.
With the big ass gun, that's what it is, because that gun is not something that you just carry around.
Like, I'm going to put it in my back pocket.
I'm going to put it in my back pocket. It's not like a shotgun or a little bitty, like, no, that's a big gun. Like, it's pretty, like, long and big. It sounds like, I don't understand why somebody would just have that in their back. Or
it sounds like it's hefty.
It's hefty.
Yeah.
Because it's a Magnum.
Yeah. Pues sí.
Claro. Yeah. So, I mean, that shit's not something that you just carry around to, like, scare people. No, bitch. That's somebody
you mean business.
You mean business with that. Yeah.
In the meanwhile, police are also looking into where the balloons and the flowers could have been purchased from. They concluded that they were bought at a Publix grocery store only a mile away from the Warren home. And the reason why they figured it out was because one of the balloons, I think it was the one that said "You're the best," was only sold at a specific location, which was that Publix store. So they started interviewing the employees there. And a couple of employees told investigators that cada uno recordaba that a woman was bought a basket of carnations and 2 balloons on the day of the murder. And it was,
see, because think about it. This person probably went in earlier in the day. Eran las 11 cuando llegó allá.
Like around 11,
so para que los balloons tuvieran helium todavía, she would have to gone early. So there's a lot of people, especially on Memorial Day weekend at the fucking grocery store.
Yeah.
You're out on the lake and shit.
Yeah. And obviously it was 1990, so I don't think they had surveillance. I think they had it maybe in the parking area, not inside the actual
black
store.
Ones que no se miraban ni verga, bro.
Oh, like all like gray and stuff.
Like they weren't necessary. Like why even have that shit? No se miraba nada. Like for
no,
real.
es para decir que tenías algo.
Sí, porque like even in the day or night, they all look gray.
Yeah.
Or black.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know because... I've seen them on the movies.
Yeah. So they had that. So they figured out that, okay, it was a woman, they said. So 4 days after Marlene was shot and 2 days after she passed away, a white car, a Chrysler LeBaron, not LeBron.
No, it's because I looked it up and I looked it up under LeBron and it came up. So I don't care what you say.
is found abandoned in the parking lot of a Winn-Dixie grocery store, which was about 5 miles from where Marlene lived.
So we looked at the car, and the car looks like a fucking pimp car. Like, y luego dijiste que it was like, también they were mentioning in the story que it was a convertible. A convertible. So this shit looks like a straight up pimp car.
Yeah.
Like, it's white and a pimp car.
A white Chrysler LeBaron.
Yeah.
The car gets inspected, and they find orange synthetic fibers, which look like they could belong to an orange clown wig.
Wow.
What you think of that? They also find a brown, long strand of hair.
Single strand.
Uno, solamente.
I would be in fucking trouble. Que a mí se me cae el pelo like crazy.
Same. I should like a dog.
Yeah. So then I would leave a lot more than one strand.
Me too.
I'm just saying.
I'd leave like 50.
50. Yeah, minimum.
They also tried tracing the VIN number of the car. And as they were about to do that, they llegan los parents de Marlene to the investigators.
Yeah.
Shirley and Bill told the police that Marlene told them weeks before she was killed that she thought that Michael was having an affair.
Okay.
And that they were going to separate. Pero that she was hesitating porque, of the business they had together, and which the properties were, I think, under her name. Mm-hmm. So she told them that if something happened to her, that it was Michael that had done it.
Damn, dude.
To tell your parents that. And then, y luego que algo te pase.
That's so crazy. Like, and then if I was her parents, I'd be like, y'all need to look into him because he did something to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, investigators were already kind of looking into Michael.
Yeah.
But now they were really looking into Michael.
They're like, okay, we have to pay more attention to him.
Yes.
Okay.
They find that Michael was being trashy in his business dealings in Bargain Motors. He'd do whatever he could to actually sell the car at the moment. Like les decía, we can lower the price. If you're like late on payments, it's fine. We want you to get a car, so you can have one.
He would act like he was being nice, but not really.
That he cared.
Yeah.
And bitch, as soon as they couldn't make a payment, Operation Repo, bitch, he'd go and repo their fucking cars.
Nope.
So employees were also interviewed, and they found out that there was rumors going around in the office that Michael had been having an affair.
Oh, okay.
El señor.
Okay. So, entonces lo que estaba diciendo los papás de
Marlene
was true. They weren't,
Yeah, they weren't just talking out of their ass.
Yeah, okay.
So 26-year-old Sheila Keene and her husband Richard worked for Michael repoing cars.
Okay.
Sometime after, I'm not really sure how long after Sheila and Richard separated, pero Sheila todavía, she continued to work for Michael. Now, Sheila was described as...
But she made money,
I'm sure she did.
She did.
I wonder how much they made for repoing cars.
I don't know. Pero maybe, do they get paid by commission?
I guess.
I guess so.
So Sheila was described as hardcore, which I'm sure you need to be if you're going to be taking fucking repoing somebody's fucking car. Mm-hmm. And she didn't care what time or what neighborhood it was that she'd go and do her Operation Repo.
Like le valió verga.
Le valió verga. Just like that TV show Operation Repo, which was fucking crazy. And
she would just bust in there, get in the car.
Get in the bitch, yes. Because it is said that she'd even seduce a guy that she needed to repo the car from. She pretended she was going to have sex with him and shit. Y para quitarle las llaves.
No, wait. She was very committed.
She was committed.
She was committed to her job. And yes, she wanted to have the employee of the month. Yes. For sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, like you said, she was committed. She wanted her money.
Yep.
She was also described as tall, had long dark brown hair, and was always wearing jeans and boots.
Okay.
And she was very attractive, according to ex-employees of Bargain Motors.
I've looked her up, and she was very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she really did have like long brown hair, nice hair.
Uh-huh.
Investigators, of course, they start hearing this shit. Yeah, from the employees, he's having an affair with Sheila Keene. So, of course, investigators start looking into Sheila Keene. You have a wife who has been murdered, and her husband is rumored to be having an affair. So red flags all over the place. Red flags. Police go to the apartment complex donde vivía Sheila, and they start asking her neighbors questions. They're like, hey, have you seen this man hanging around here? And, describing him. And they're like, yeah, I see that man all the time. And they were describing Michael Warren to the neighbors. Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, that's her husband because he's here all the time with her.
Holy shit.
That's just how often he was over her apartment that the neighbors thought that he was her husband.
At what point does it get like that?
Like that you don't give a fuck?
Like you don't care. Like, I mean, did he think nobody was going to tell on him or what? Like, que le valió madre, and now she's like to where he's always at the apartment. And I mean, I understand, like, that was his coworker and stuff, pero wait, to where
he was her boss.
Yeah, that was her boss, pero like, wait, to where the people were like, that's.
But like, were they in love? Or was it just an affair?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly, at this point, because people, they don't even know themselves.
That's true. Now, it's not really clear, and I'm assuming here that the investigators or the police got a warrant because they do go into Sheila's apartment and search her apartment. But they didn't find a clown costume or anything to do with the clown costume, and they didn't find a gun. But they do take some shoes and clothing, I believe. So they take that for testing or whatever it is they're going to do.
I guess
inspect it or whatever.
Against what? After
searching Sheila's apartment, Sheila herself goes in for a voluntary interview. And they ask her about Michael, and they've been having an affair, which she denies. She's like, nope. No. They ask her where she was the morning of Marlene's murder. And she says that she was out doing Operation Repo. Yeah. That she doesn't remember what type of car she was repoing. She just knows that she was out doing a repo.
That's kind of retarded because on Memorial Day weekend and you're out there repoing y no sabes, no tienes new log de los carros que te estás llevando. So you're just taking random ass cars and you don't remember from where?
Like, and I'm sure it wasn't even that long after she was interviewed that Marlene was murdered. So how do you not remember?
So how do you not remember?
When you were repoing?
I mean, that's just me.
I'm sure repoing is a very memorable, like you're going to remember the cars that you're repoing.
I think so. And from where and whose car was it?
Yes.
I mean, you're not going to just be like, oh, this random ass person, this is your car. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Like you don't even, you need to know like their information. No, me imagino. I don't know. I'm not a repoer. So. Pero I'm just saying.
And they asked her también, do you own a gun? She says, yes, but I lost it.
Perdió la gun, pues.
Se le perdió. What a quinky think.
Yep.
And she says like, look, you guys think I might have something to do with this, but I did not kill this lady. And y'all want my DNA? I'm happy to provide it. I have nothing to hide. Here you go. Y se arrancó una greña y se las da.
Okay.
So they have her DNA. And the police, of course, have the brown long strand of hair that they found in the white Chrysler LeBaron. And now they have Sheila's DNA. So they're like, okay, let's test these against each other and see if they're a match. So Popo go off and do that. Now the police finally do end up running the VIN number on the white Chrysler LeBaron. And it shows up that the car was actually reported stolen from a local dealership called Payless Car Rental.
Okay.
Not to get confused with Payless, the shoe store.
No, not related.
Not related. Mm-mm. In April of 1990, which was like a month prior, a couple rented a car in West Palm Beach. And when they were due to return the car, they called Payless and asked them like, hey, we're about to be done with this car. Where do we leave it when we have to return it tomorrow? So on the other line, they're given instructions to drop off the car on the street, not in the actual lot of the Payless, like outside of the gates at night after the place is closed.
Wow.
And they're like, leave the keys in the visor.
Okay.
So the couple were like weird about it, right? They're like, what? But they do it anyway. Pero no se quedaron a gusto. So the next day they go back y ya no estaba el carro.
Okay.
So lo habían llevado. So they call Payless again. And they're like, hey, we rented this car and somebody told us to leave it out here and now it's not there. And Payless tells them like, what the fuck are you talking about? We've never talked to you guys.
Shit, that's
so they're
crazy
like,
shit.
What?
A mí yo me hubiera dado miedo because like, me van a cobrar carro o qué?
Yeah, bitch, how much is a car?
A lot of money.
Yeah. A white Chrysler LeBaron?
I mean,
it looked like a pimp car. It was fucking convertible.
It was convertible and shit. Like, you're going to pay some bucks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. At the time, Bargain Motors had an ad in the paper that said, a bargain auto rental, and then pay less. And pay less was in big bold letters, and it was like the first thing that you saw on this ad. And then it had a number to call.
Kind of like in the white pages or yellow pages.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So the couple ended up calling Bargain Motors. They never called the actual Payless rental car company. So, the police find this out and they're like, what?
What the fuck?
Fishy as AF.
Big time fishy. Not only that, but my question is, ¿a poco no contestaron Bargain Auto Motors? How can I help you?
I'm not sure. You'd think.
No me dijeron, hello. Like, I would think que si hablas vas a estar at Bargain Motors, how may I help you?
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, maybe if you're not paying attention, they'll be like, hi, I wanted to return a car. Like, si no estás poniendo atención, si te puede pasar.
Yeah.
You know, si te puede pasar.
Yeah.
Pero I'm just saying because...
But it just, the way that, the timing of it is just like impeccable.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, it was meant to be.
Yes.
But not meant to be.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the police, after learning about this, they go and interview the employees at Bargain Motors, and they all deny knowing anything about this stolen car. And an ex-employee says that if their car was in their lot, she never saw it.
Like, she would have known.
She would have known,
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, initially, like you said, nothing was found at the crime scene, but they're finding little things here and there that they're able to investigate. Yep. And tips are also coming in. And at this point, a tip comes in from a business associate, de Michael.
Okay.
Este asociado tells the police that after Marlene was shot, Michael le pidió un favor. Y el favor era que Michael le preguntó al asociado que si le podía esconder unas pistolas. Y que según it was 4 pistolas and that one of the guns was a .357 Magnum.
I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. If you come to my house and telling me, hey, can you...
Not even a friend. You're just a business associate.
Y me puedes guardar esto? I'll be like, no, guárdalo tú solo.
Find somewhere else.
Find somewhere else. I'm not going to get involved in no fucking guns. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yep. But wait.
There's more.
There is more, ma'am. Michael also asked this guy, according to him, to get rid of an orange wig. Which he says that he got rid of it. And he got rid of it by wrapping it in spark plugs and throwing it in a canal.
That makes no sense. Because have you seen a spark plug?
Yes.
So, that made no sense.
¿De quedar toques o qué?
Pues no sé, pero las spark plugs están chiquitas.
Yeah.
Si es spark plug de un carro, están chiquitas, güey. How are you going to wrap it against a spark plug?
How is there the different types of spark plugs?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Me too.
I don't know. Because the spark plugs that I remember that I know of in a car, tan chiquitos, güey. Entonces, how did he wrap it around in spark? Maybe in like a cable. I'm just saying.
No, I get it. So the police go searching for the guns first, and they go to the associate's parents' attic. But when they go up, they don't find anything.
Oh, shit.
So the police then go searching for this orange wig at the canal, but they also didn't find it. Which kind of makes sense because they said that a lot of water went through this canal. So
it probably washed away. Dude.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't going to be there by the time they went looking for it. So I get that. Mm-hmm. About the guns, I don't get why they weren't there. Since nothing was found, it did cross the investigators' minds that what if someone was just trying to frame Michael?
Okay.
You know, because he was being trashy in his business dealings. So a lo mejor tenían amigos and they were just like, let's fucking frame his ass. You
pero
know?
Está bien, pero ya para eso a tratar de matar a su mujer, como que it's a little bit out there, you know?
Yeah, like how bad did he really fuck you?
Yeah, for real. Uh-huh.
So they did think that. It was just a thought that they had. But another tip comes in, and it was an ex-employee that told investigators that Marlene confronted Michael at the office about Sheila and the rumors that they were having an affair. Mm-hmm. The ex-employee dijo que llegó Marlene y se metieron a la oficina y cerraron la puerta, but you could still hear what they were talking about.
Pues sí, uno de metiche, ¿verdad?
Para la oreja.
Ahí para la oreja.
Yes. Y the ex-employee said that she heard Marlene tell Michael, if you don't get rid of Sheila Keene, I will take everything you've got.
As she should.
Because I'm sure she could have. She would have.
She would have, yeah.
Yeah.
Le estaba dando una oportunidad, dude.
Yeah.
Les dijo que to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just like they found out where the flowers and balloons were purchased from, the police also locate the costume shop where a clown costume was bought before Marlene's murder. There was only 3 costume shops in the area. So it wasn't really that hard to narrow it down.
This place sounds like it's really small.
Wellington?
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Deborah, who was the sales clerk at the Spotlight costume shop, told investigators that a woman showed up on May 25th at closing time looking for a costume. Y Deborah les dijo that she was there, and she was there también with the owner of the costume shop. They had already locked doors. They were even ready to leave las dos when this lady came knocking on the door. And they told the lady, you know what, we're closed. Come back tomorrow. Y que la lady les dijo que no, that she needed to buy a costume now.
What was so important that you needed a fucking clown costume at that time?
A costume period.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. You couldn't wait till the morning?
No, apparently.
Immediately.
She needed it now.
Needed it. Okay.
Deborah dijo, they were like, okay, fine, lady. Like, le abrieron la puerta and they let her shop.
Yeah, porque no están tan caros los costumes, dude. No están baratitos. Yo creo por eso no le alcanzó para los zapatos. No le alcanzó. I'm just saying, because them motherfuckers are expensive, dude.
She was on a budget.
No había Spirit Halloween, nada.
No. She said that the woman found a costume really quick, and it was a clown costume. And she bought it. She bought the clown suit, an orange wig, white face makeup, and a red nose, and that she paid cash. And Deborah said that she remembered that the woman had long chocolate hair and deep brown eyes.
Okay.
Investigators then showed her some pictures of like a lineup.
Like a lineup? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And Deborah picked out a picture of the woman that she said resembled the lady from that night that bought their costume. And it was a picture of Sheila Keene.
Of course it was, because Sheila Keene is a bitch.
Now, all of these tips keep coming in and pointing in one direction. Mm-hmm. Not One Direction, the band, but
Not
One Direction,
the band. No.
One Direction, as in towards
Don't
Michael and Sheila
twisted.
and Sheila's, direction.
That's not Harry Styles.
Because they have a motive.
Not Harry Styles.
They have a motive.
They have a fucking motive, dude.
And,
money.
Well, yeah, and they want to get rid of her.
Yeah.
So they can
because le dijo que le iba a quitar todo a la verga. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch of circumstantial evidence, but there's no DNA evidence.
Okay.
So they're hoping that the test results of the comparison of Sheila's hair to the one that they found in the white Chrysler LeBaron can change that.
Not to be confused with LeBron James.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when those results come back, they are not able to conclusively say that the hairs are a match.
Fuck, man. Why?
Back in the 90s, the DNA wasn't as conclusive as it is now, because I think they could say this one hair belongs to like 10,000 people, could belong to 10,000 people out of 100,000 people. It wasn't that conclusive,
That's crazy, though.
Yeah.
That's just psycho to me.
Investigators believe that Michael did have something to do with it. They don't actually think that he was the one that shot her, but definitely think that he was involved.
Okay.
So
they can't pin anything on him, right? Okay.
So they started to really like dig harder on Michael, or started digging into his affairs more, and trying to find something that can link him to Marlene's murder, but they don't find anything, unfortunately. They do end up removing files from his job and his home, and they find evidence of actual fraud in his business. He actually ends up getting arrested on charges of odometer tampering.
So he was tampering with odometers.
Yeah, which reminded me of the movie Matilda.
I know. Pinche Matilda's dad.
Yeah.
Oye, ¿cómo se llamaba Matilda's dad, dude?
I know his real name's Danny DeVito.
Sí, güey, pero like in the movie no me acuerdo. ¿Cómo se llamaba Matilda's dad?
Ronnie?
That doesn't sound. He doesn't.
No, it's just I said Ronnie because I started watching Jersey Shore.
Wow. His name was Harry.
Harry.
Hey,
wow.
That was pretty close, too.
Yeah.
Good job. Y luego le pintaba el pelo. Dude, that shit was crazy.
So like I said, he was charged on odometer tampering, grand theft, and racketeering.
Okay.
He was tried
racketeering.
He was tried on 43 counts and sentenced to 9 years in prison. And he got out after serving a little over 3.5 years for good behavior in 1996.
Wow.
So after getting out, he leaves the state.
Yeah.
And by that point, Marlene's case had gone cold, unfortunately. The investigators didn't have enough evidence for a case that would get a conviction. So the case, went cold, and it finally gets reopened in 2014.
Okay.
Now in 2017, Barbara Marshall, who worked for the Palm Beach Post, was going to write a 27-year anniversary article on Marlene's murder.
Okay. So because by this time the case, like you said, is cold. So there's no new leads. Everything is done.
Yeah.
And by this time as well, they're still saying that Mr. Michael y su lover are innocent at this time.
Yeah, because they couldn't pin any. They couldn't charge them with anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So Barbara was going to write.
Barbara is a bad bitch of the story, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. And besides the fact that her name is Barb.
So Barb starts looking into the murder. Barb, like if I know her.
Nah, she's my bestie.
Yeah. So Barbara starts looking into the murder, and she gets a researcher to help her. She's going to write this anniversary article, and the researcher comes across some information that is Shocking.
Information? Got it. What is the information?
Well, the researcher found out that in 2002, Michael and Sheila got married.
Oh, ándale pues.
In
Pero
Vegas.
they weren't together.
They weren't having an affair back in 1990 cuando se murió
Pero
Marlene.
ya se casaron.
Pero se casaron in 2002.
Okay, lo esperó.
Lo esperó because he got out of prison in 1996.
So she was down ass bitch.
Yeah, literally.
She was literally like the best employee and apparently would wait for her hasta que
For her
saliera.
mans.
Yeah.
She wanted her mans.
Yeah. And she wanted her mans monies.
Yes.
Wow.
They moved to Abington, Virginia.
Abington, Virginia.
And there they built a 4,100 square foot home in front of a lake in an upscale neighborhood.
Oh, because they had monies.
Tenían monies. ¿De dónde lo sacó el señor? ¿Quién sabe?
¿Quién sabe? Pero pues estaba en la jail. Yo que I guess she
lo guardó?
Yeah, or she kept repoint cars.
Maybe,
yeah.
But damn, to be able to afford they built this hoe. Like they bought the land and built the home up from the ground.
Must be nice.
They also owned a fast food drive-through restaurant.
See?
Called the Purple Cow.
Bro. That's like giving me Chick-fil-A vibes.
And apparently it was on and popping at the Purple Cow.
It was. I saw it online because when we talked about it earlier, it was online and they had like burgers and shakes and stuff
and like
fries and shit.
Like hot dogs. Yeah, and it was just like a little, like I said, like a little drive-through.
It was like a stand.
Yeah.
And luego, like and all they did was drive through. So you just drove through and they had two little cows at the outside.
Yeah, and
they were purple.
And apparently, like Michael, he made all the food. Him and Sheila would go really early in the mornings and like hacían la comida. He'd prepare it. I think he even on the menu he named a burger after himself. And
wow.
Yes.
Oh, it was
like he was committed to
the purple cow yes. Apparently. I don't know why I was gonna call it the purple moo.
It came from somewhere.
Yeah. My brain.
Now Miss Sheila had changed her name.
Oh, she did. Okay, well that's convenient.
She was going by Debbie.
Oh, Miss Debbie. What is it with people in that name back in the day, bro? Deborah? Debbie? The lady from the fucking costume shop, Debbie? Like, fuck.
Her name was Deborah.
That's what I'm saying, Deborah. Todos se llamaban Deborah. The fuck?
She also dyed her hair. She was blonde.
Oh, she wasn't brown haired anymore.
Long chocolate hair no more, she said. I am a blonde now. Besides finding that out, the police also decided they're like, okay, this is real sus. And now they're married. And back in the day, they said they had nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's retest the hairs that we had that when we retested in 1990 didn't give us a conclusive answer. But now, it's been almost 30 years. DNA has advanced immensely. Algo nos puede salir que no nos salió back then.
Yeah.
So they do retest the hairs and the results come back and they are able to say more conclusively that those two were a match.
Dude, what the fuck? They got her. Got him.
Got him,
coach.
Now, in August of 2017, the police department in Florida le habló al sheriff, Fred Newman, in Abington, Virginia, and they explained to him everything. Al sheriff. Yeah, y le explicaron todo lo que había pasado with Marlene and,
Y la payasa y todo.
Yeah.
Porque ya no es payaso, es payasa.
Exactly. Y que her case had gone cold, but, they reopened the case and, so on and so forth. And they told him that they needed his help to locate their prime suspect in the case. Mm-hmm. So police keep an eye on Sheila and Michael for the next month or so. And ya lo estaban así, like, checando.
Vigilando and shit. Okay.
And on September 26th of 2017, Sheila Keene Warren, because that was her name now, Sheila Keene Warren.
She had to put...
A.K.A. Debbie.
A.K.A. Debbie.
Was finally arrested.
Okay.
The police had set a trap and police cars were placed in specific locations throughout the small town donde vivían. So when Michael and Sheila were driving in their Cadillac Escalade...
Porque van en el Caddy.
Bro, because they had sold the Purple Cow the year before, so they were retired. So they had more money.
They had more money. They were done with the Purple Cow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They cashed in and they're like, we're going to retire. So when the Escalade came to like a stop somewhere, they were able
That's fucked up, dude. Like, bitch, you got money and you retired, but now you're going down for murder, bitch.
Yes. No hagas mamadas.
No. Y además, if y'all want to look, there is a video. You were telling me that there is a video of where they caught
Sheila Keene Warren.
Debbie. And she's smiling como que si fuera andaba comiendo pinche ice cream and shit.
Yeah.
Like, she really did think she was going to get away with it, huh?
Yeah. Well, after 30 years. Allegedly. I don't know. So, the cars were surrounded. They surrounded them. And once Sheila, gets put in the cop car, and then they take her to an investigation room. And when they tell her there that she's being arrested and what she's being arrested for, she doesn't answer any questions. And she just says that she wants a lawyer.
Yeah, she has money now for a lawyer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Michael did not get arrested. Prosecutors in the case have said that there is hope for a second arrest, but till this day, he has not been arrested. Prosecutors...
Which I don't know why, because I would tell on his ass if he told me to do it. I'd be like, yep, he fucking told me to do it. I did what he told me to. We're both going to jail, bitch. Because he's out there, he's going to get somebody else, and they're going to be wasting your fucking money.
He says that she's being framed, that she didn't do anything.
So somebody framed her,
yes,
even though you gave your DNA, but they're framing you.
No, but your DNA's match. Your hair...
That's exactly what it is. They're framing her. Okay.
Prosecutors did release a piece of information that involved Michael. And I'm not really sure when they learned about this, but it was released at the time of Sheila's arrest. And it was the story... No, it was about a year after Marlene's murder. So like in 1991, a local criminal defense attorney named Christopher DeSantis, who was Joe's attorney, because remember, Joe is el hijo. He was Joe's attorney at the time for an unrelated matter. And Michael le preguntó a este attorney that, and I quote, "What would be the ramifications? What would they be if a husband killed his wife on her estate?" Christopher said that he told Mike that if the husband had a friend who did it and they couldn't be tied to the husband, then he could get away with it. That if the killer dressed up in a clown costume, they wouldn't be able to be recognized and it'd be hard for police to identify him.
Okay. So how the fuck did you come from, hey, Mike, what's going on? You chilling? Yes, I'm chilling. Hey, Sheila, do you think you want to dress up as a fucking clown and go up to my house and drink and bring my daughter a balloon and carnations and shoot her in the face? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
You said my daughter.
I mean, my wife. I'm sorry. So how did that go from one extreme to the next? Like, I don't get it.
And I was watching an episode of True Crime Daily. They were kind of like talking about the case. And a lawyer was on the episode. And he was like, as a lawyer myself, how is another lawyer going to tell somebody how to get away with murder?
Bitch.
Like what?
Like, people, raza. If they ask you questions, tell somebody.
Yeah.
Please. Tell somebody.
And I don't know why. Maybe he thought it was nothing, nada que ver, didn't think anything of it, but...
Like, maybe he was just joking around or something, but who the fuck jokes like that, bro?
But it's true.
Yeah, it's true, because she's not implicating him at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing to connect him. So technically, yes, he is
DNA-wise,
yeah, DNA-wise. So technically, he is getting away with murder.
Yeah.
You know? Because la otra pendeja no va a decir.
No.
No va a decir.
Apparently not, because she would have said something.
Yeah, maybe later on when they press her a little bit more, you know?
Yeah. Now, Sheila is charged with the first-degree murder of Marlene Warren and gets extradited back to Florida. She pleads not guilty, and the state submitted a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. But they mostly believe that they're doing it to put pressure on Sheila so she could take like a plea deal, and so she could plead guilty and take a plea deal.
Yeah. So they're not really wanting to kill her. They're just acting like they're going to kill her.
Well, yeah, but they're not saying that, right?
But they're not saying that.
Yeah,
but they can, because in the state of Florida, the
death penalty. You can seek the death penalty.
Okay.
So her trial date has been pushed back multiple times because, of a little something called COVID. I don't know if you heard of it or not. And it's actually scheduled for October 21st of this month.
Bitch, that's crazy. You know what we're going to do? Do we have to watch it?
I'm going to watch it. I'm invested.
Yeah, we're invested.
Yeah.
I want to know So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll probably post something on Instagram or something like that.
Story, like a
story
update.
Or an update, or maybe like a little post or something to kind of give you guys an update of what's going on con la Sheila.
La Debbie, I'm sorry. No, I guess she's
Sheila. Yeah, she's back in Florida.
Yeah, she's back in Florida. So she's Sheila. So, like, one thing at least that came out of this is that when Sheila was arrested, Marlene's parents were still alive, so they were able to see somebody get arrested for the murder of their daughter.
And that really rarely happens.
Yes.
As you know, with our, track history of the cases that we've done, that really doesn't happen. Yeah. So that's awesome. I'm happy for that.
And one ironic thing about Marlene being killed by a clown was that Marlene and her family, they all loved clowns. Like, she'd paint them and she'd have them over at her house. And her parents had a circus room.
No, ma'am.
And su mom, you know, the paintings that she painted of clowns when she was younger, like in high school or something, she has them all hung up and everything like that. And she's like, our family has just always loved clowns.
Fuck that. Fuck you and your clown. First of all, I need to find out why the fuck are clowns important and they're needed. And like, they're like cockroaches. We don't need cockroaches. We don't need clowns.
I don't think.
Do you think clowns are funny?
No.
Do they tell you jokes? Do they tickle you?
Ew, no.
So then what the fuck do you need? I'm telling you, like, what do you need a clown for, bitch? What do you need a clown for?
What, you know what? What is the history of a clown? Like, where did this come from?
Like, why are people dressing up in fucking clown outfits?
Is that like a phobia of yours?
No, I don't have a phobia of clowns. My sister does, but I don't. Not Vanessa, the other one. But I don't have a phobia of clowns. I feel like, I think that the only reason that I started clowns started creeping me out was whenever I started watching Sons of Anarchy, and one of the first episodes was with the clown, and that's since then I don't fuck with clowns, but still, like, bitch, you're not funny.
Yeah.
What's the point of them?
Making balloon shaped animals?
Bitch, you better fucking make a badass balloon shaped animal. Like, if they all look like horses to me, I don't want that shit.
Or a weenie dog.
I mean, are they going to come over? Are you going to bring a clown over to your house so that they can entertain the kids? Bitch, the kids are scared of those motherfuckers. I don't want that.
No, are your kids scared of clowns?
Probably not. I don't think I've ever seen the clown. I've never taken them to see a clown. Are you scared of clowns?
No. One of my friends is, but no, I don't. Ni me viene ni me va.
Igualmente. I'll be like,
ni frío ni calor.
No, nada.
Like, get out of my way, bro.
Get the fuck out of my way, fucker. Like, I don't know. I'm just not, I don't mind them, but I just don't understand what the point of clowns are, which I don't really need to know. So I'm fine.
It says origin. The clown character developed out of the zany, rustic fool characters of the early modern commedia dell'arte, which were themselves directly based on the rustic fool characters of ancient Greek and Roman theater. Everything fucking traces back to the Romans. And
because they're not here to defend themselves?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So.
But anyways, guys, that's the case of Marlene Warren, sadly. So
sad. Okay, what do you guys think about this case?
Yes.
Do you guys feel like it was, or that Michael should be charged with her murder? Do you guys think that what is her fucking name? Shirley now? What's her name? Sheila was fucking driving the car around. Maybe her hair was in there.
Right.
It didn't have to do with the, So what is your theory? What do you think?
Yeah. And we'll be finding out for sure. Like Barbie said, we'll let you guys know when Sheila trial begins and what comes out of it. And maybe there's obviously more evidence that we have no idea that they have.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I'm excited for this.
So so let us know what you think. We're going to continue our Espooky Season
for the month of October.
For the month of October. And then we do have a few stuff lined up for this month. But if you want to let us know what you'd like to hear, you can send us a message at
cafecitoandcrime@gmail.com.
Email. Or you can send us a DM or a message through our Instagram at Cafecito and Crime Pod. Follow us on Instagram if you don't mind. Please, tell your friends. Yeah. Maybe they'll want to follow us. Tell your mom. Maybe they want to be our 3 followers. Maybe they want to be the 4th one. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Hasta los vidrios. Bye.
Bye.